Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day at the end of the day, and welcome to our RDI Southeast chapter event, and thank you for supporting our organization. At RDI in the Southeast chapter, we love connecting the retail design community with our retailers and merchants within the Atlanta metro area. What are we going to be discussing today? So today, we're going to be talking about the Beacon. This is a historical mixed-use development in Grant Park with a diverse group of retail merchants bringing health, beauty, wellness, home, and food concessions to life in a unique and engaging way. And what do we plan to share with you today? So we're going to show you a quick documentary of the space. We're going to have a great panel discussion with some amazing brand ambassadors, entrepreneurs, and merchants from this incredible development. And today will be moderated by Deanna McIntosh, an entrepreneur specializing in retail consulting and consumer strategy. We'll be discussing the impacts of COVID on the social distancing spectrum at the Beacon, and so much more we can be enlightened by today. We'll also save some time at the end for Q&A. So please put your questions into the Q&A platform, not the chat function. And I'd also like to thank our sponsors for today's event, Miller-Zell, Stylemark, and Sherwin-Williams. Without further ado, let's get into the content of today. So we're going to run our video.
So at Live, we've worked really hard to make our customers feel safe. That's especially important to us as a wellness boutique. So we've added virtual shopping appointments, and then we've also added private shopping appointments for those who prefer to shop in person but would like the entire space to themselves.
Ritual Bodywork is a small massage studio at the Beacon in Grant Park. A ritual is just an action with an intention behind it. So it's the ritual of you taking care of yourself and the ritual of us taking care of you. So when the pandemic hit, once we figured out that it wasn't so much touching surfaces, that it was airborne, we got high-grade HEPA filters that have UV lights in them. We're very adamant about mask wearing. We wipe everything down 400 times a day, and we wash our hands as much as possible.
We are Heal Thyself. We are a wellness spa right here in Grant Park, just near the Beltline. Here at Heal Thyself, we like to focus on actually 3 aspects of the person. So we like to focus on the mind, the body, and spirit. Since COVID, we've definitely taken a lot of different measures to make sure that our space is safe for both our clients and our teammates. We've been focusing a lot on creating, disinfecting, wiping every place, making sure that everyone is wearing a mask at all times, that, you know, everyone is coming into their appointment just by themselves.
Wonderful. All right, Deanna, I'm going to turn that over to you. Hopefully you were all inspired by our documentary of this amazing space. So I will now turn it over to the moderator and the panelists.
Hi, everyone, and thanks to RDI for having me. So excited for this conversation. So to the business owners, why don't you guys all introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your business, and if you consider yourselves a merchant, or like what type of business would you consider yourself? Let's start with Marielle.
All right, yeah, so my name is Marielle. I am manager, cryotech, and yoga instructor for the cryotherapy place. We are a service provider, like in the health and wellness industry, providing cryotherapy, compression, and other recovery modalities. We treat athletes, really anyone who is looking to heal from different pain and whatnot. So that is kind of a little bit about our business.
Thanks so much. And Lala, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I'm Lala, and this is my daughter, Tamris.
Hi.
We are founder of Heal Thyself Atlanta, which is wellness spa with different modalities. Especially we have colon hydrotherapy over there. We do Reiki, chakra balance, amethyst biomed, different 15 type of massages, organic facial, hip baths, food detox, and much more.
Awesome. Thank you. Shantae, what about you?
Hello, everyone. I'm Jonte. I am the owner of Lit Essentials, and we just opened a few months ago at the Beacon. We are an aromatherapy and wellness workshop. And I guess I would say we are a merchant. We sell our products. We do make about 75% of our products in our space. So we do consider it a bit of a lab or a workshop, but we also sell the products out of here as well. Essential oils, soaps, bath salts, anything that kind of makes you feel good. We also carry a range of herbal teas. And then we resell diffusers and other aromatherapy accessories.
Nice, love it. Christine.
So I opened in January. I have a massage studio. I've been a massage therapist for, I think, about 15 years now. And so my business just kind of organically kept growing, and I opened my own space. And so, yeah, I don't know that I would consider myself a merchant. I feel like it's more of a service. It's like a service-based, and we're just here to serve the community. And I'm happy to be a part of the huge wellness scene in Atlanta. So yeah, that's a little bit about it.
Nice. And lastly, Israel. Oh, you're muted. We can't hear you. Sorry, Zoom love.
I was so happy to get on there too.
I know, Zoom love.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday. All right, so my name is Israel Wright, and I am a men's grooming specialist by trade, but I am also the owner of the Exclusive Experience, which is a full grooming spa. So initially, before COVID, we were catering specifically to men. However, post-COVID and kind of like through the rest of the pandemic, we started catering some of our services to women as well. So we do manicures, pedicures, 24-karat gold facials, scalp treatments, and then also we offer spa days and events, classes, and workshops catered to grooming. And yeah, we do a lot of things like everybody was kind of saying, is more so service-based instead of just merchant. However, like I said, I'm really just catered to creating a different type of experience outside of just the typical barbershop haircut. We really just want to give people something that they've never seen before. So yeah, that's what I do.
Nice. Love it. I need to visit all of you guys. Like ASAP. I think we all do. We all need some self-love, some self-care.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So my next question for you guys is what is the mission and purpose of your business? I know that's a loaded question, so bring it from the heart. So what's the mission and purpose of your business, and how has the COVID impact shifted it, if at all? So Marielle, you want to start?
Yeah, I would say the mission and purpose of our business is to offer recovery and healing to as many people as possible. Of course, our big clientele are athletes and people who are involved in like pretty strenuous exercise, but we also have people with arthritis, people who have been involved in accidents, people with cancer coming in to really try that holistic approach to getting and relieving pain. Just with all of our services, reduces inflammation, brings that blood flow to all the areas. So like whatever pain you might be having, we're a really good service for that. And I think with COVID, just trying to extend that, because it also is extremely good for immunity. And I know that people who have endured COVID or have family members who have endured COVID, I'm sure like their energy is low and their body is definitely not what it was. So we're really trying to extend our offers to really treat that in a holistic way in any way possible. So.
Thank you. Christine, what about you, the mission and purpose of your business, and if COVID has shifted that at all?
I guess massage to me has always been, or what I'm kind of trying to do is just, I feel like with technology and everything that's going on, we're so busy. And so the idea is just kind of bringing you back to the present and bringing you back to yourself. And kind of, I always say, like, I feel like sometimes I'm living up here. So it's kind of like we bring it back down to live in here. And so that's kind of what I try to bring to people through massage. And then of course, you know, muscle healing and aches, stress. And I've just found with COVID, people really need human touch. And that's what's been missing. And we're not able to give it, we weren't able to get it for so long. And I feel like that's kind of what we're doing with the community right now is just, I tell my clients, I'm working on your nervous system more than anything else at this point. So that's kind of how I felt we've been working since we reopened, and it's been really rewarding.
Nice. Jonte, what about you?
Oh, ours is a little interesting because we got started late last year. So we launched our product line in January, right before everything hit. And our mission was already to provide and to create really high quality wellness products out of essential oils so that we could be more in the holistic and natural lane and help people boost their immunity naturally and reduce their stress. And so with COVID, it just kind of lined up for us to be really great timing, because what most people need right now is to treat themselves in a really healthy and natural way. And one of the main ways you can kind of protect yourself and your immunity is by reducing your stress. So many illnesses or diseases are caused because you've weakened your immune system from stress. And so we kind of just leaned more into what we already wanted to do, given that COVID has taken over this entire year, and it's been really, really great for us. And it's nice that people can have a place where they can buy those products, they can feel really safe coming in and treat themselves to something really nice.
Love it. So to that note, Lala, when you're thinking about the mission and purpose of your business, what is it that drives customers into your space, especially right now with this time that we're in? What is it that draws them in?
So I'll actually take this one.
Okay, yes.
So we've always kind of been, our goal and mission has always, since we started, since the get-go, has always been to kind of be a place that empowers people, just like our name suggests, to essentially come in and heal themselves. So to learn, and what we try to do is we try to teach people and find out and help them find out exactly why they come to us. So for example, if someone, whether they're coming in for a massage or whether they're coming in for a facial, we want to kind of get to know them and, find out exactly what it is. Like, if they're coming in for a massage, is it just that they want a massage, or maybe they're experiencing back pain that's chronic, and then how can we help them and kind of dive into the root cause of it? So, we definitely don't want to be a place that just provides like transactional just services, like you buy and here's what you get. We want to be a place where people kind of learn about themselves and are empowered to kind of pursue preventative care. And I definitely say that COVID has changed our business a lot, but it definitely hasn't been all bad at all. We're actually seeing a lot more people coming in. I think they finally have the time to take care of themselves. They're at home and they want to come in and, heal.
That's very true. And Israel, same question for you. When you think about the mission and purpose of your business, what is it that's bringing customers into your space?
It's almost like a collective of everybody's answers, but to me, I guess the pivot happened when I started understanding more about the community that we were building. So the people that we've been building over time, just with connecting and networking and, all the people that have been supporting the mission and just the overall business model, it kind of gave everybody an opportunity to kind of see how they can be more impactful. And through COVID, we went digital. We started doing at-home care kits. We started doing different ways that we could do virtual learning for our clients that were trying to figure out, hey, how can I cut my hair, or how can I take care of my nails, or how can I do facials at home? Different stuff like that. And then it also gave me an opportunity as an owner just to tap into my own my network of people that have been supporting me, so I can be more impactful in their networks as well, because everybody needs some type of grooming. Everybody needs some type of healthcare and wellness, like everybody's kind of been saying. So it's figuring out what more can I do outside of what I already was doing behind the chair, but more so if I have to come into your home virtually through a screen, how can I be impactful? And having a staff who kind of showed me it's deeper than just the transactions. It's more so like a relationships that we've been building, and how can I help them in this time of need where everybody's going through something. How can I maintain that leadership position for them? So yeah, it's been a great opportunity just to kind of see am I really built for this as a owner, as a leader? And I really feel like I've been able to strive like in a positive manner and show a lot of people different ways that they can get past this crazy situation that we can't really control.
That is so, so true. I think we can all say that this time has shown us what we were really made of. Personally, professionally, it really has. And I'm glad you said that too about the transition from physical to digital, because that's the perfect segue where a lot of brick and mortar shops, like you guys, we're closed at the start of this. And so now, what was that pivot like for you? How did you shift your services from physical to digital, or did you? Let's start with Marielle.
All right, so with the services that we offer, it is not really possible to go digital, as you have to be in our cryotherapy machine or in our cryo boots or using like all of our modalities that are in our store. So I think what we've done is just really played into the safety of it. So everyone's always wearing masks. We only allow a certain amount of people in the store at a time. If they're in different groups, we take our sanitization super high with wiping down everything after each use. We also apply temperature checks and everything. So I think with COVID hitting, of course, we did get less people coming into the store as everyone was mostly exercising and doing everything at home. So we are currently picking up in the past month. So I think we weren't really able to do the digital transfer with our business.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Glad things are picking up. Lala or Tamreese, what about you guys? What about the shift to physical or digital, or did you?
Yeah, absolutely. For us, just like Marielle said, it's a bit tough to kind of make the full transition to digital. However, we are definitely seeing one of the ways in which we kind of pivoted is we started kind of having more consultations by phone, and so reaching our clientele there. And something else that we actually started getting into has been we've been kind of able to focus more on kind of, because everyone's at home, more on social media and such. We've been actually working more on kind of content creation, and we've been working with other small businesses who to kind of create videos of our space and such, and kind of target people and get to know people that way more in that space.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And Christine, as a massage therapist, how did this impact you? Were you able to go digital at all?
No. I mean,
people how to massage themselves. I don't know.
My pivot was actually more because we opened in January, so we're open for 8 weeks, and then we had to close. And so it's kind of like what Israel said. It was like my pivot was, what am I made of? How can I do this? And I tried to just help my employees and keep the space physically open. And so that was just kind of a wheel that I was running for a bit, and just trying to make sure that we kept ourselves safe and our employees kept safe, and that we could open. Because I tried to think about what to do, and literally with just massage, there's nothing to do except for wait until it's safe to come back in. And so yeah, that's what I did. And I breathed deep a lot.
Right.
Yeah, that was that.
Yes. Jante, since you have a physical product, were you able to shift a good chunk of your business online?
Well, it's interesting. I'm listening to everyone. And before 2 months ago, we were only online. So we kind of existed in the space that you could say was safe for folks to purchase our products. What we did struggle with, though, was just being so new. We didn't experience a whole boom like a lot of online or retailers did, because we didn't have a huge customer base. And our product, being aromatherapy, is in my opinion, at least, best experienced in person. And we have a really interactive experience, and we do a lot with customizing our products to suit the specific customers' needs. So we started in January doing pop-ups at either farmers markets or just pop-up shops. And we did that for 2 months. And then we actually started our website in February, and then signed our lease here at the Beacon in March. And then we just weren't able to open until late August. So I'd say we didn't necessarily have to pivot as much, but our pivot was opening and then being kind of born out of or in COVID. We just structured our retail space to be very COVID safe and friendly and conscious, so that people would feel really comfortable shopping in person.
Which I'm glad you said that, because my next topic is really just about that trust and transparency. One of the, I think, biggest things that companies needed to do once COVID happened is to show that the customers can trust them. And if they have that physical space, to really, you know, whatever that means, signage, making sure you email your customers, like over communicating. So what did you do, Jonte, to facilitate that trust and transparency?
Well, it's built into how customers shop with us, period. We have a really small shop, I'd say around 600 square feet. And so 10 people would have been the max, most likely anyway. And so from the beginning, we just structured everything around it. So we limit our number of customers to 6 people at a time. So that gives enough wiggle room for me and my team to also be in the shop and not exceed the maximum number of 10 people in a space. Of course, we wipe down all of our surfaces and sanitize regularly. We also require masks in the store, and we also just have tons of extra, so that if a customer comes in and they don't have one and they want to come in, we can just give them one and it not be so much of a hassle. We also make and sell hand sanitizer, so that part was really easy for us. We say something really simple like, can we offer you hand sanitizer as people enter? And they're always, they enjoy that. And we use one of our essential oil blends, and we change it out regularly, which presents a really nice segue for us to jump right into essential oils and what we do. We also offer, and we launched our shop with shopping appointments. Since it's easy to fill up really quickly, you can make a shopping appointment for free, which would reserve your space in our shop. In addition to that, we offer private shopping, where you can reserve the shop for either 30 minutes for $50 or I think it's $75 for 50 minutes, and we close it so that you and your friends or family can shop by yourself. And then we give that money back to you to actually shop with. So it's just converted into store credit. And that way, if people are out and they want to shop just around people they're comfortable with, they can also do that. And then recently we launched virtual shopping, where you're able to book an appointment through our booking software. And we send you a link sort of like this, and then you're able to shop the store virtually, because we make so many products and then sell out the same week because we make them in small batches, and we call them in-store exclusives. So as a way to get people back in the habit of coming out and showing them that they can trust us, they can shop in person, or again, if they don't like, or prefer not to, they can do that virtually and still have access to all of the stuff we're making fresh daily. So those are some of the things that we're doing.
Genius. Like, that's amazing. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. All right, Marielle, since your traffic is picking up now, what would you say is the contributing factor for that? How have you shown that trust and transparency to get your customers coming back?
I would say that, well, first off, we have been able to reach out to a lot more people than we were like during the in the summer. So prior to COVID, we were constantly doing pop-ups where we would bring our compression boots to like running meetups, bike meetups, games, and all those kinds of things. And of course, when those weren't happening, we had to stop them. So we've been able to pick those up again, obviously not in the same way, more just offering information and merchandise to them just to get our name out and just to explain our services. So I think that has what is like a huge thing and what has been drawing people back into our stores, just us being able to reach out to like different coaches, athletic directors, and exercise groups and have them safely come on in. We are really transparent with how we clean our studios, and we offer hand sanitizers. Of course, we do temperature checks, just like I said before, and we have really well ventilated area. So it's been pretty easy to allow people to come into this space safely. Of course, everyone's wearing masks as well. So.
Got it. Lala and Tamriz, we actually have a question that has something to do. So someone asked, how are facials facilitated? Wouldn't the clients need to remove their masks? Because you guys do facials, right?
Yes.
Yes. So how has that been? How have you created that trust to get them to come back and be comfortable with the physical touch?
First of all, I want to let you know that even before COVID, we take very seriously about cleaning, since we do a lot of like colon hydrotherapy and we have medical devices. We always clean before COVID, and our clients always knew that. They always was talking before COVID. And after COVID, we even take more seriously, of course. We have medical grade cleaner. We clean with that. We have, we use like medical grade cleaner. We use essential oil, and we also use alcohol. And especially with facial, yes. And of course, when people come, we measure their temperature. They have to go wash their hands first, and then also they use hand sanitizer. Natural hand sanitizer. With our facial, it's the only these facials they have to take a mask because of we have to work on their facial. But our estheticians wear special mask, and they have protection. They also have gloves, and we sanitize, disposable gloves, and we sanitize that space very seriously.
And just to add to that, the equipment that we use, we try to do like for dermaplaning and things like that. Everything is, it was always disposable before, but we try to kind of focus a lot more on that, make sure that almost everything that touches your face is, disposable, single use.
Got it. Love it. And thinking about that too, what have you heard from customers who maybe are afraid to come back in? What are they saying? What are some ways that you can kind of coax them and help them feel comfortable coming back in if they do have rejections? So maybe what are some common rejections that you're hearing? And we'll start with Christine.
I think just everyone has their own level of comfort. To be honest, I haven't really tried to talk anyone into coming back in. I just let them know, hey, we've been doing this. I've been back since mid-May as I was kind of trying to come up with the protocols, teach the protocols, and then have my staff come in and learn the protocols. And then the whole staff has been back since June 1, and we haven't had an issue. That's really all I can speak to. And then kind of like what Lala was saying, we clean anyway. I'm sure we all do. We're all kind of in a medical field of sorts. And so we're used to that, and then taking more time in between and just giving people the facts and letting them know that we've been safe so far, and then letting them come in when they feel comfortable. But that's really all I can do. And then keeping in communication with them via emails, more when we were shut down, just letting them know how we're doing, what we're doing, etc.
Yeah, awesome. Well, That was great. We all know about COVID. So let's focus on the positive. Let's smile and shake that off a little bit. We're all still here. So what is your light at the end of the tunnel? So we talked about the negatives and how it's impacted you, but what about the positive? Like, what is that shining beacon of light, pun intended? And how is this time just shaping you as a business owner? Israel, what do you think?
Man, first of all, I want to congratulate everybody who's on here for pushing through, because it was very, very tough. It was very, I mean, it was just a lot. It was a lot. And as a business owner, you already encounter a lot of, difficulties and a lot of negatives and just stuff, hurdles that you got to overcome with a smile on your face. So to go through something like COVID and still going through, the hurdles of that, like, I commend everybody for just pushing through, because it is not easy by any means. And I mean, I know all the obstacles that I went through personally, because I just was one of those people too that opened. My grand opening was February 29th, and I think we closed on March 23rd. So I hadn't even been open a month before I had to close back down, and I was closed for 2 months. But I mean, I guess if you ask what was the like the triumph, or what was kind of like the light at the end of the tunnel, it was just being able to see my vision come to life and actually be able to provide a lot more than just, my biggest thing is more than just that haircut. Because we do, we are a barbershop at heart, but we want to offer, the additional services. And that's kind of how I built my brand in my industry, or my part of the industry, with giving more than just that. So the facials, the scalp treatments, ingrown hair removal, beard treatments, and then also implementing the nails and, the manicure, pedicures, and all the additional services. That to me, actually being able to see it and being able to provide something different that people really haven't been able to get exposed to, that to me brings a smile to my face, because I'm like, I know that I could have went down just like any other business that said I can't open back up, but I was able to push through it. And now we're seeing, that it could, I'm not gonna say be over, but this could be a new norm. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with what that looks like. I'm okay with wearing masks. I'm okay with hand sanitizer. I'm okay with the temperature checks. If that's what I have to do to be open, so be it. So, that's the best answer I can give you right now.
Love it. Great answer. Marielle, what about you? What's your light at the end of the tunnel?
I would say just hearing our clients' testimonials about how they feel like a new person, or how something that's been bothering them for years is finally subsiding. And just like really, I think getting to know each client when they come in, they're in there for about an hour, and I don't know, everyone just has like their own personal and amazing story, and something that they've triumphed through. So I think just being able to offer that service to even help someone just a little bit, just relieve them of pain or anything else like stress, anxiety, I think is like the light at the end of the tunnel, just trying to reach as many people as possible, just so their wellness and health is as close to 100% as possible. So I think just that's our vision and our mission. So yeah.
Awesome. Lala or Tom Reeds, what about you?
I always been an advocate of preventive care. I love when people take care before it's too late. And I've noticed, and it's positive for me, that people start taking care of themselves more now. And they seriously take preventive care. That's for me positive.
It's so true.
Yeah, definitely. And it's been interesting to kind of watch people and like the way they talk. And it's like, when they come in, we can make suggestions and advice. And, it's always amazing to see people take it really seriously, and then they'll call us back, they'll come in for their next appointment, or, when they buy a package, or they'll sign up for a membership, and then they'll come in and they'll tell us like all these things that they've implemented, these new measures that they themselves are doing. And it's always interesting to hear, they'll say, like, I started doing this, I started changing my diet a bit, or taking better supplements, and suddenly they're like, well, my husband started doing that, or my children did, or my parents, etc. So it's been really interesting that, people are taking it more seriously. and they're sharing it with the ones that they love. But yeah.
Love that. Christine, what's your light? How has this shaped you?
I'm definitely, ironically, I'm more mellow about things. I think like the anxiety at the beginning of this, and then coupled with building and then opening a business, my anxiety was so high. And after that, I just, now it's like, what will come? I mean, I've made it this far. So I definitely feel more mellow, and I think a happier business owner in some weird way. And I'm kind of seeing a little bit of that light at the end of the tunnel, in that, I don't know, I'll look around sometimes and it'll just be like a vibe in there of like life and community and people coming in to get what they need, and us being able to give that to them, which is the whole point. And yeah, I'll just take this kind of bird's eye view every now and then, and it just makes me very happy. And all I can hope for is just more of that, really, like for all of us here. But yeah.
That's so true. If you can survive COVID, you can survive anything as a business owner, I swear. Jante, what about you?
I think you just took the words right from my mind. I think that's what I was going to say. I can only really echo what everyone else is saying, in that like preventative care and that idea of prioritizing your self-care is the best way to stay healthy. And it seems as though everyone on the panel is providing a way for folks to stay healthy, stay happy, keep their immune system strong, and reduce their stress and anxiety, which is, you know, the preventative part of that. So I think there's more demand for what all of us are doing, which to me is the light at the end of the tunnel, I suppose. And for us, just finally getting open in August, when people were ready to try coming out again, and seeing so many people who have like reunited in our space too. We've had a few like private parties where a few people who've said like, this is our first time being out. So that kind of stuff is really encouraging, and seeing more and more people just coming out and, you know, prioritizing this as a way to stay healthy.
Absolutely. Well, as Israel said, congrats to all of you for you're here, you're smiling, you're standing, you're encouraging everyone else. So that is a sign of an amazing business owner, truly. So that's the end of the panel, and we're going to now open up for Q&A. Scott, would you like to jump in?
Awesome content. Thank you, everybody. Definitely inspired. Great job, Deanna. Appreciate that, and appreciate all of your insights and inspiration. So yes, we will open it up to Q&A, and again, put that in the Q&A versus the chat. I think we have some questions. I know I have a question, but let's open it up to some of the questions that we have. Deanna, can you see those?
Yes. So the first one is, with the COVID spike reemerging, what other ways can we keep people connected together safely? Is there anything up and coming that has not yet gained mass attention? Smiles, touch, and feel is so important. We should never lose it. I agree. So what other ways can we keep people connected together safely? Anyone want to take that question?
Give some love.
I think we probably answered it throughout the discussion, right?
Yeah, I think we kind of all touched on different ways, from virtually to COVID conscious to everything in between. But obviously everybody here is kind of on the same page, just trying to keep everybody connected, but the safest way possible. So we're all very mindful of it, because we want to stay open. We want to provide the experience that we've created, but we understand what's necessary just to stay open and relevant as well.
Israel, you have a great question. What made you pivot to your customer segment from male to male and female? And I know when I met you, I thought you were joking about that when you were talking about, yes, we cater to women coming in and offer services. That's a question for you. What made you pivot?
Man, honestly, it was so crazy. Like the initial idea of having men's grooming was, I mean, to me, it's relevant and it makes sense because I'm in that space and I understand the importance of it, and it needs a little bit more attention for men that want to actually groom themselves outside of just a haircut. But what I started seeing was a lot of people that were booking appointments were women scheduling the appointments for their husbands or their brothers or their dads or cousins and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, what if they had like an all-inclusive type of experience for like a his and hers type thing, or to where they can come in and kind of share that experience as well. And once I started promoting it, I think my initial, you know, it's crazy. I think before COVID, my initial proposal and when it really happened was for Valentine's Day. I did a his and hers experience, and I had a lot of people schedule it. And I was like, well, that might be something. And then as we know, in March, you know, it kind of got a little different. So that's when it kind of, I guess, you know, kind of sparked in my head, like maybe this could be a thing. And then when we reopened in May, I started offering it again. And, you know, it made sense. And I just kind of ran with it. So now we are offering women's services as well.
That's great. And I have a question for all of you, and I will, my question is really, so how much does design, because in the Retail Design Institute, we're all about the physical space and design, how much does that matter to you as a business owner? So Israel, based on what you just said, you're really catering, you look more on the street like a barber shop. Christine has some of the most beautiful wallpaper I've ever seen. Lala's space feels like a sanctuary. So I'd like to hear from all of you, like, how much do you believe, not really seeing yourself as traditional retail merchants, how much do you believe that the physical space and design of a retail environment or a store matters to the customers you're serving? So what are you thinking about, Israel? Are you thinking about making your space a little different?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the pivot, man. That's business 101. You know, you kind of got to be willing to adjust and see where the market pushes you, but also kind of see where the clients are and what they actually want and need. I'm very receptive to, you know, ideas and different concepts. And what I also wanted to do when I initially created the space was just to be able to cater to anybody, to where they can walk in off the street and feel comfortable coming in. Especially with men's grooming, because for a man to be comfortable getting a manicure and a pedicure and a facial at the same time, it has to be a conducive space. And me knowing kind of what that looks like, I know women will be attracted to that as well. Like when I opened, I had so many of my female friends and family members like, hey, what about us? And I'm like, well, maybe I got to open up a second location for you guys. But I feel like now it's making sense to be able to have that one-stop shop for men and women to come and get groomed. So, yeah, that's kind of what I always wanted to create a space to where it was inviting for anybody to come in.
And Christine, how about you? Because you're obviously so driven by bringing the whole concept together through design and environmental experience, as well as products and services. What are some of your thoughts?
I mean, I basically, probably like everyone on the panel, I just designed a place where I would want to go. And as I started doing it, I just, honestly, a lot of the stuff that's out there is like my friends, like a lot of the artwork, a lot of the furniture was made by people I know. And so I kind of just took the past 20 plus years of living in Atlanta and piled it all into a really, what I hope to be a really relaxing yet beautiful space that you want to sit in for a while when we don't have to worry about COVID, and just sit and relax and enjoy yourself.
Got
Yeah,
it.
design is really important, and I just wanted to make a space that was really pretty, and I hope I did.
And if anybody wants to unmute, you can ask some questions. If we could just also keep going. Jonte, I think you touched on it in a more traditional approach to a retail store and talked about the environment, and appreciate that feedback. Lala, you talked to me about like creating a sanctuary. So is environment important to you and to your customers?
Yeah, we would definitely say that, because I think we're lucky. When we first stumbled stumbled into the space, we were actually looking for a much smaller, to open a much smaller business. And when we stumbled into the space itself, we kind of fell in love with it, even though, you know, when we got there, there was no floor, no rooms, no nothing. It was just 4 walls and us, and that was it. And we've noticed, and, you know, we tried to create it, make it very minimalistic in a lot of ways, because we wanted to create a space where, you know, when people walk in, they can really, truly breathe. You know, we don't want to have anything cluttered or anything. And it definitely makes a big difference. You know, when people come in, whatever they have, you can kind of see one of the things that they say, they're like, wow, like, this is so relaxing. And we can kind of like see them like take a breath in and out, and a lot of people, I think they really enjoy the space so much that after their services, it's not uncommon for people to, of course, this is mainly pre-COVID, but for them to stick around for hours, like literally hours afterwards. You know, we'll bring them out tea, and they'll just stay and hang out and relax. People meditate. So I think the space has actually been one of the most important aspects of our business, the design of it, definitely.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing. Do we have any additional questions that anybody would like to ask?
I have a couple of questions actually that kind of relate to each other. It feels as though you guys kind of exist in a community, and are able to kind of capitalize on that. And so I guess I'm asking, is that true? It certainly feels that way. And then also, do you find that you've had to increase communication with people who were your regulars before the shutdown, or has that kind of level of communication stayed consistent?
Yeah, as far as communication goes, something that's interesting that we found, you know, just like you mentioned, we're definitely a community, was actually we had a lot of our regular clients reaching out to us to kind of communicate with us, you know, make sure everything was okay. And, you know, even when we were, you know, shut down for a month and a half or 2, we had people, you know, constantly keeping in touch and asking if they could do anything, so they could buy gift cards, and then when we were opening. And so it was interesting, you know, we definitely do keep in touch with them, but it was kind of a breath of fresh air to see how much people really cared and, you know, wanted to make sure that we were gonna come back. Yeah.
And even they keep the membership.
Yeah, and a lot of people actually, like Lala was mentioning, we have memberships, and so people actually didn't forfeit their memberships during the 2 months. Most of them, I'd say,
In order to help.
yeah, about a great majority of them definitely kept their memberships running throughout when we were locked down.
Any other questions coming in from the participants today? I'd like to just close with one more quick question to hear. So when we looked at all of your beautiful spaces and all your products and services, you all do such a beautiful job with your retail merchandising. So obviously it's important to your business to sell consumers' products. Could a few of you just talk about that in terms of the experience and the merchandising and how that fits into the retail products and services that you sell? Israel, what about you? Because I mean, I bought one of my favorite fragrances from you. So none of you other than John Tay talked about it.
I was gonna say something. So yeah, I mean, again, with the pivoting and kind of just understanding where the market was and the things that people like when it comes to, like, I'm big on the 5 senses. So from seeing, touching, smelling, tasting, all that, like, that's very important to me when it comes to an experience. Like when I go to a 5-star hotel, just the different things that I like to go through to know, okay, I know I'm going to spend, you know, some good money here, but I'm going to get an experience that makes sense for me. And I always want to incorporate that into any of my business models. So I know that the people that are coming to patronize my business are never going to leave feeling disappointed or like, man, I spent a lot of money, but I didn't feel like I took anything away. And I'm big on intangibles too. You know, I really want to make sure that people get that experience, almost like when you go to Disney World. You know what I'm saying? You experience something that's so like mind-blowing and mesmerizing to where it's like, it doesn't matter how much it costs, you know, but I know it's unforgettable. And I know that I can always refer somebody or tell somebody, hey, you need to go here because I had the best time of my life, or I had the best experience of my life here. But yeah, you know, we have tapped into like fragrances and colognes and perfumes too, because a lot of our clients, they do, you know, spend their money on that, but they appreciate it because it's a part of that experience as well. So, yeah, it's like I've always been about more than just a haircut. That's really like my basis of my business model, and my mission is just to be able to offer more. Because
we appreciate that. We appreciate that insight, because as a passionate retail design institute, and retail is our life, we see, as we look at your environments, we're just so excited about what you talked about, from the human capacity, the products and services, wellness, but also how you bring an environment to life and the other products and services. So Lala, do you want to talk about that? Or Jonte, we definitely, you definitely told us about that and how important that is to your environment. But Lala, what do you think about products and services from a retail perspective?
Product is also very essential. I sell herbs, a lot of herbs, and I'm, you know, a herbalist and a nutritionist. And during COVID, we also created kits, especially for guts, for nervous system. We created like different kits for people, for consumers. And it helped us too, and it helped them too. It's like, yes, how Israel was telling, tangible is very important. People want to take something tangible. And it's like they experience that at home. Keep experiencing what's that service at home.
Well, again, we are so impressed with your beautiful space and your beautiful bar that you walk into, where you do a lot of that blending. So thank you for sharing. We've got time maybe to hear from one other individual. If, again, you want to, you know, tell us about, I think maybe the Marielle, is it from, is she still on with us? She's still with us?
Yep, she's just muted.
Hi.
Got it. Yes, you have that beautiful trigger massage therapy thing for sale that's very expensive, and you also sell products and services. So how important is that to the overall experience?
I think it's very important. I think like most of our services are done in studio, but we do offer like our massage gun that you can take at home. So I think, first of all, with our space, it's not like soothing like everyone else's. We've got like a bright art on the wall. We've got chalk drawing everywhere. It's very energizing, and that's kind of how we want you to feel leaving our space is energized and just revived from maybe like a tough day at work or a tough workout. So I think just that, bringing that onto our merchandise and everything has been extremely helpful.
Awesome. Again, thank you all so much. This has been so incredible and insightful and engaging, and we appreciate your time. I want to close today with just two things for the RDI community. Again, we have opportunities to become members, so please go to our website and learn about our membership, and membership right now is free. I also want to just talk about, for any of our members that are on with us today, that we have our end of year mixer coming up. So this is the last of our events and a great way to end the year. That's what I'm inspired by, is really what the future looks like for retail and design and consumers. And so, yeah, we're going to end our year with a end of year mixer. And so please, if you have not signed up for that, please do sign up and join our party. And again, I want to thank all of you as panelists, and Deanna, the moderator, for the incredible job today in content. This was really, really great. And please, all of you, stay safe, healthy, and I look forward to coming to the Beacon for wonderful care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Bye.